Our second summer banner is out now. In the Summer Dreams banner, you can get summer versions of Ogma, Freyr, Freyja, and Harmonic Caeda and Plumeria. We'll be going over their stats and skills, plus talk about playstyles and build ideas. For this banner, our 4-star focus unit will be Summer Ogma. You can get them at 4-star and 5-star rarity. As a unit, Ogma is going to be a Lance Infantry unit this time. We do not have many low rarity summonable Lance Infantry units, and Pirate Geese from last year was our only other 4-star focus option. Now, Summer Ogma is not bad at all, but he unfortunately will be overshadowed by our Tempest Trials unit, Summer Norn, who is also a Lance Infantry unit. I will talk about her more in the next video, but just be aware that she has similar attack and speed stats, and as a Heroic Grow unit, you are not going to have to spend orbs for her. Back to Ogma though, he has great base stats with 44 HP, 38 attack, 38 speed, 35 defense, and 21 resistance. Attack super boon is fantastic, and 38 attack and speed beats out Pirate Geese. One of Geese's main strengths is that the other free-to-play friendly Lance Infantry are so much slower, and Ogma would have been top dog in that category if it wasn't for Summer Norn. Regardless, Ogma is in a great spot for a 4-star focus unit. If you prefer him over Norn, then he'll do just fine. For old skills, Ogma is going to come with Soul as a special, and will bring the spicy attack and speed solo 3 A skill with him. Even if you don't want to use it, that alone is great fodder. For his weapon, Summer Ogma brings the Trident Plus. This 14-point inheritable lance grants a +6 attack field buff if you start the turn within 3 spaces of any ally. Then, if you're still within 3 spaces of an ally during combat, you get another +5 attack and defense. Super simple stat boosting weapon, very generous activation range, and with the size of phase maps, unless you're completely separated from the team, you should be able to proc both effects nearly all the time. I've listed the stat refines for this weapon, including the total amount of stats you can get. The attack and defense refines are the most specialized. Either you get 14 attack and 5 defense, or a more balanced 11 attack and 9 defense. You can choose the speed or res refines too. Both give 11 attack and 5 defense, and then you either get +3 speed or +4 res. Now, Summer Norn also has Inheritable Lance, and it's the same effect as the Trident, except instead of a +6 attack field buff, it's a +6 defense field buff. Honestly, Ogma can use either one. Next, we have Threaten Speed and Defense 2. At the start of the turn, inflict Speed and Defense -4 on foes within 2 spaces through their next actions. This is just another variant of the Tier 2 dual threatens. They aren't that bad if you can bait the enemy into your attack range, but 2 spaces is not that big, especially compared to the 4 spaces of the new Menace skills. To be honest, these are mainly just fodder for getting access to those Menace skills as prerequisites, so expect Speed and Defense Menace in the future. As mentioned, Summer Ogma is a faster Pirate Geese, and there are not really any free-to-play Lance Infantry who come close in terms of speed. That would have stayed true if Summer Norn wasn't on the current Tempest Trials, so if you want a fast Lancer and do not want to spend orbs, then, well yeah, you can always use her. It doesn't hurt Ogma's viability as a unit, but I'm sure a lot more players will just go for Norn instead, since you don't have to tempt RNG, and Choose Your Legends is coming extremely soon. In terms of builds, Ogma does have attack and speed solo, which actually is really good and lends to easy double solo stacking. Trident Plus does grant a lot of attack, but with the defense refined, you can get 9 defense, which isn't too bad at all. For simple builds, you could just add a B skill and Desperation would be fine. If you want to continue stacking buffs, Speed and Defense Link would fill the void, and you'd have attack, speed, and defense field buffs. If you want another C skill, you can get Rouse Speed and Defense, or Rouse Attack and Res, or Rouse Attack and Defense, actually from the Grow options. Obviously, you're not going to want to overlap field buffs, but they do work nicely with these solo skills. For other weapons, Ogma has a lot of choices. He would be great with Sling, Fire Sweep, Slaying Spear, Guard Lance, or the defensive options. Instant Lance from Fernand is neat, Lofty Blossoms is in the Divine Code shop, and the same for Guild Fork. If you got previous 4-star Focus Lancers, you could also use the Candy Cane, Flowing Lance, or Springy Lance. All of these focus on attack, speed, or defense, so Ogma can use any of them quite well. For some of the other skills, obviously speed is a huge draw, so Ogma could go with no follow-up or a dodge skill. Trident Plus actually works nicely with attack and defense ideal, since it does grant an attack buff. Tons of other fun things are available to use, like Unity, Lulls, Distant Counter, Menace skills, Heavy or Flashing Blade, Times Pulse, Tech Smoke. The list is huge for infantry melee units. If you go in an all-around generous build, you may want to add some extra resistance, so skills like Speed and Res solo. Overall, Summer Ogma is going to be a great merge project. It's just a bit unfortunate Summer Norn is similar and she's a free unit. Next we have Summer Freyr, who actually makes his debut, I guess, since he wasn't really a unit in the story. Like his sister, Freyr will be a Beast Cavalier, and he's going to be red this time. He's got 41 HP, 38 attack, 16 speed, 38 defense, and 35 resistance, defense super boon as well. So the min-max cavalry stat line has proven to be quite effective, and Freyr wants in on that action. terrible speed, but pretty great attack, defense, and resistance. We'll talk about this more with his weapon. For old skills, Freyr is going to come with Draconic Aura and low attack and defense. Definitely did his homework, min-max stats, and low attack and defense seems to be quite popular. All of this comes together with Freyr's unique Ray Dream Horn. It has 14 might, 16 when transformed, and he grants another +3 attack. When transformed, he'll hit 57 attack total. Now if Freyr initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, he gets +6 attack, he inflicts -6 attack on the foe, and he makes a guaranteed follow-up attack. Boy, I feel like we've seen this before. Now when transformed for Beast Cavaliers, Freyr is going to inflict -4 attack and defense when initiating, and he prevents a follow-up attack. Together, if he initiates, that's like having +10 attack and inflicting -10 attack, so the guy is going to be quite tanky. If you don't have no follow-up or quick riposte, you can't double back. Meanwhile, Freyr himself is going to double you. Obviously, Summer Freyja is basically just a red version of Duso or Zeke. Lots of damage, really tanky, and built-in follow-up. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Now instead of Defensive Res solo, Freyr brought Defensive Res Catch 4 with him. At start of combat, if the foe has 100% HP or a speed penalty on them, grant +7 Defensive Res. If they have both, then you get an extra +2 for +9 total. So this is a real scary skill because it works on both phases and has no positioning requirement. Freyr can chill with the team, make initiations, or even lose HP, and he can still get the full stat boost. This may be an issue if you end up slugging it out with another really tanky opponent though, so you may want to bring some debuffs to keep the catch skill active. There isn't a ton of new things going on here. Summer Freyja will act much like a Duso or Zeke. He's going to rely on his guaranteed double for kills, but he'll still have high single hit damage, and he's super tanky with Ray Dream Horn, Defensive Res Catch, and low attack and defense. You can even add the Defensive Res Solo Sacred Seal if you want. Now, something to keep in mind is that unlike Duso, Freyr needs to be near allies for Daydream Horn to proc during the enemy phase. If you run solo skills, you're going to be fine for initiations, but you're going to want to back Freyr up for the enemy phase. For some other skills, if you want to fill the C slot, again, debuffs aren't bad to proc catch no matter what. Attack Smoke stacks with low attack and defense, and Ray Dream Horn. Then of course you got the Deadly Menace C skills. If you want Kanto, we do have attack and defense near trace, but I think low is better for Freyr. You could go for distant counter or swap to attack focus skills, although it's not necessary. Heavy Blade should be fine for Freyr, and you can use Bonfire or Gale Force as well. I would say Freyr as his carry player phase because when he's transformed, he's also going to deny follow-up attacks. This is great if you do stop his double, but you aren't running no follow-up, or if he doesn't get the kill. As with all of these types of units, no follow-up will pretty much stop their aggression, but it doesn't stop their tankiness. Definitely not unbeatable, but still pretty dang strong. Next, we didn't get a Summer Ganyu outfit in Genshin, but we did get a Summer Freyja in Fae. The big bad from book 4 is on vacation, and she hasn't changed too much from her mythic form. This time Freyja will be a colorless Beast Cavalier with 40 HP, 39 attack, 43 speed, 25 defense, and 20 resistance. Pretty much the same as her regular form with some slight stat changes. Summer Freyja will have super boons in attack, speed, and defense, so pick your favorite. The GOAT is fast, and she's actually getting even faster this time. For old skills, Freyja has Glimmer's special, and she also attack and speed solo 4 once again. She also brings Fatal Smoke. Third time this skill has been on a limited time unit. I don't think they want to make it easy to get this one. As for her unique weapon, Freyja has the Bright Mare Horn, 14 might or 16 when transformed, and another +3 speed, bringing her up to 46 starting speed. As start of combat, if Freyja has more than 25% HP, grant +5 to all stats, grants the 40% dodge effect, and when transformed, neutralizes effects that prevent Freyja's follow-up attacks. Alright, so compared to her regular weapon, we trade Distant Counter for more stats, and we get partial no follow-up, plus we keep the dodge effect. While no DC may seem like a downgrade, Freyja trades the ranged counterattacks for a really powerful offensive skill, no follow-up. It's only the offensive portion of the skill, but that's fine, since it means if Freyja outspeeds the enemy, she's always going to double them. You cannot stop her double now, and she has +5 to all stats as well. So, the GOAT has over 50 speed with just her weapon, and you can't stop her doubles without matching her speed. She's gonna have dodge, and she can prevent your follow-up attacks when inflicting some debuffs as well. Even more of a player phase monster than Freyr, Summer Freyja is very scary. She does keep the no follow-up effect on the enemy phase too, so if you initiate with like an impact skill on Freyr, she can still double you back if you're slower. With dodge and the 5 extra defense and res, Summer Freyja is also not gonna go down so easily. Summer Freyja doesn't have any new inheritable skills, but she keeps her binding necklace from her mythic form. If Freyja is not adjacent to an ally, grant +2 to all stats, inflict -2 to all of the enemy stats, and if they have field buffs, Freyja gains those buffs while cancelling them out on the enemy during combat. Basically, this is the effect the first Summer banner weapons had, except Freyja applies it to all stat categories. As for the +2 in combat buffs / debuffs, combine this with her weapon, and it's like she gets +9 to all stats. Freyja is not playing around, and you cannot use field buffs since she's just going to steal them anyway. In terms of playstyle, Summer Freyja will have to get up close and personal this time without distant counter. However, she's arguably stronger with the offensive no follow-up effect and the +5 extra stats. Binding Necklace itself is a solo ability, so double solo skills is fine, and Freyja has Fatal Smoke to stop any kind of healing counterattacks, so she can finish the kill off in the second hit. She is insanely fast, so good luck outspeeding her, and she can always run skills like Menace for some debuffs and buffs. Now, something really powerful that Freyja can do is run Heavy Blade and Gale Force. She doesn't have Slaying, but with the no follow-up effect, she can guarantee her second hit, whereas other Cavaliers only get one hit. Keep this in mind because we'll come back to it again in this video. Overall, Summer Freyja is even more annoying than her mythic form in any non-distant counter engagements. Her doubles are not going to be stopped, and with her weapon and attack speed solo 4, she already hits 58 speed. She has more speed from Binding Necklace as well, so I'm not even sure if you need another speed Sacred Seal. At least she doesn't have Kanto yet. Last, we have Harmonic Summer Caeda and Plumeria. This pair will be an Axe cavalry unit with 39 HP, 33 attack, 42 speed, 26 defense, and 20 resistance. They also have speed and defense super boons. Really fast Cavalier, and Harmonic Caeda won't be so different from Summer Freyja. For old skills, Caeda and Plumeria are going to have Harsh Command Plus, Attack and Speed Catch 4, and Panic Smoke. More catch skills for our Cavaliers and Flyers out there. For her unique weapon, the dolphin-dive axe, this is a 60-minute weapon that grants Kanto 2 and is effective against sword, lances, axes, colorless bows, and armored units. It even grants another +3 attack, and that's going to get Caeda up to 52 attack total. Besides all of those effects, if Caeda initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, she gains +5 to all stats. Admittedly, a kinda simple weapon, but Harmonic Caeda is trying to just brute force things with 5 different effective types. This is the same as Young Caeda's Insane Sword minus Vantage. However, the general stat boost is appreciated, and Kanto is always good, especially since this one is Kanto 2, so you always get 2 movement. Despite Caeda starting with 33 base attack, she's going to be getting +8 attack from this weapon, and it's a 60-minute weapon, so you can't just ignore her. She is super fast as well, and you don't want to take 2 hits of effective damage. Keep in mind, Dolphin-Dive Axe is only effective against colorless archers, so guys like Legendary Crom won't care. It is effective against army units, which is good, but is it enough to cut down the one who must not be named? I'm not sure about that one. Now, for their Harmonized skill, grants Resonance Blades to unit and allies from these same titles. Resonance Blades is just +4 attack and speed during combat. Additionally, grant another action to ally with the highest HP that is within 2 spaces, has already acted, and is from these same titles. Excludes Caeda and Plumeria, but it can work on other dancers. It also is not going to trigger if multiple units fulfill those conditions. So, for all units from these same titles, they get more attack and speed, and Harmonic Caeda has a dance skill thanks to Plumeria. She's not going to be double dancing like Dual Peony, but this is still great utility for your team. Harmonic Caeda and Plumeria introduce one new skill called Flow Refresh 3, and this is a really interesting one. If unit initiates combat, neutralize effects that prevent units' follow-up attacks and restore 10 HP to unit after combat. This skill is inheritable by Sword, Lance, and Axe, Cavaliers, and Flyers. Basically, Flow Refresh has the offensive part of No Follow-Up 3, meaning your doubles are not going to be stopped by enemy abilities. If you win the speed check, you will double. Flow Refresh only works in the player phase, and it heals 10 HP after combat. It's a very neat ability. It is the only inheritable way to give Cavaliers and Flyers no follow-up in some way, and it's mainly for those super offensive Cavs that just want to double no matter what. Unfortunately, Beast and Dragons cannot use it. I don't really know why. Ranged Cavaliers and Flyers also cannot get it. Summer Freyja could have used this skill to guarantee his double attacks and would have only been stopped by the defensive part of no follow-up. However, he can't run it. If you noticed, Flow Refresh actually is what Freyja basically has, except hers works on the enemy phase too. Flyers can also run a neat combo with Flow Refresh by using an Impact A skill. The Impact skill would negate a follow-up effect, and together it simulates the full no follow-up 3. In total, it would only not be no follow-up if the enemy ran 2 or more quicker post skills, but no one really does that. In essence, this is a neat beast skill option for these super fast cows and flyers out there. Summer Ash is one example, and I would also include Ingrid too. I could see Legendary Ephraim getting this added to his remixed beast skill, since he does have an auto double, and Summer Ingrid could heal 20 HP after initiating, since her lance heals 10 HP after the first combat. The healing part may be an issue for some people though. If you want your Cavalier or Flyer to be a Wings of Mercy beacon, then a 10 HP heal is not what you want. You could run Fury 4, which does have 8 recoil damage, but maybe in the future we could get a Fury 3 Sacred Seal to run double Fury, or you could run triple Fury on some units. In general, Harmonic Caeda wants to be initiating with all of her speed, and no follow-up allows her to double if she wins that speed check. With multiple effective modifiers, you do need to watch out, especially lance units out there. With Kanto 2, Caeda can initiate, heal 10 HP, and retreat backwards, which is pretty cool. You can keep her skills, but you could also run things like low speed and defense or desperation. For example, even though Caeda can guarantee her 2 hits, she may still die on the counterattacks, so it may not be the best for longer battles. Additionally, you don't have things like guard to stop fast special charging. Flow Refresh is powerful, but it's not without its own drawbacks. Panic Smoke is fine to keep, but like Freyja, Fatal Smoke would just stop any kind of healing on enemy counterattacks. You could run Mystic Boost for more healing, but otherwise the usual attack and speed skills are probably best. Like we mentioned with Freyja, Caeda can run Heavy Blade plus Gale Force with Flow Refresh. I would say defensively, Caeda is weaker than Freyja since she doesn't have dodge, although her base stats are a bit higher. Offensively though, she has Kanto and 5 effective damage types. However, Flow Refresh is only a player phase skill in terms of no follow-up. For Freyja, she can double at any point if she outspeeds the enemy when she's transformed, so attacking into her can be a bit dangerous as well, not to mention she steals your field buffs. Regardless, we got 2 pretty speedy Cavaliers this banner, and they both can bypass Warrior Fighter type effects. As mentioned earlier, our Tempest Trials unit is Summer Norn, who is available right now actually. We got some weird things going on with the Tempest Trials this time around, including brand new Freyr original character popping up as the boss. It seems like book 2 is not over just yet. As for Summer Norn, we'll talk about her more in the next video, and yes, she's another very good free unit. Let me know your thoughts on the banner characters, and good luck if you are summoning. I'll see you guys in the next one.